Nu va, mes su Laurynu, su Rimantu grįžtame iš Kyjivo. Laurynai, Rimantai, kokie jūsų įspūdžiai?
Pradėkim nuo Lauryno.
Gerai.
Na, po tokios ilgokos pertraukos aš dabar Ukrainoje buvau paskutinį kartą praeitų metų gegužę, o jau kaip buvo prasidėjęs pilno masto karas, tai važiuodavaugi po 7-8 kartus ir 22, 23, 24 kaip ministras daug teko nuveikti ir planuojant paramą Lietuvos ir ją didinant ir taip toliau. Tai, emocija tokia be jokios abejonės, 4 metai. Pradedi galvoti, 4 metai. Pirmas pasaulinis karas, antras pasaulinis karas. Atrodė, kaip galima kariauti 4 metus. O jie toliau ginasi. Aišku, sunku visuomeniai, visų kitų nuotaikų yra, tų problemų yra, natūralu. Ir rusai skaičiavo, kad kai praeis prie alinančio karo, kad tas ryškės tos problemos, kurios buvo giluminės. Bet nepaisant to, jie vis tiek kaunasi. Tai tas yra unikalu. Vis tiek toks, kaip tas yra rusiškas posakis, ne ant tų šoko, man atrodo. Ir kiekvieną dieną jie muša tą rusišką karinę mašiną, jie laužo, jie daužo ir atitolina nuo mūsų visus blogiausius scenarius. Čia yra svarbiausia. Na, o kas man iš tokios karinės technologinės pusės, nes svarbu, man atrodo, parama Ukrainai yra viena. Tai reikia tęsti. Manau, kad rusai tik tai imituoja tas darybas, nieko realiai nesidara, nori toliau panaikinti Ukrainos valstybę. Ir todėl ukrainiečiai dabar pereina tokį etapą, kai jie technologiškai sugeba silpninti rusus labai. Praeito mėnesio statistika, čia ir ne ukrainiečių statistika, o jau tokia patvirtinta tarptautinio amerikiečių institucijų statistika. 20 000 rusų karių žuvo ir tik 2000 ukrainiečių. Tai santykis 1:10. Tik 2000 čia, aišku, skamba irgi kraupiai, nes žūstantys žmonės ginantys savo valstybę. Žiūrint technologiškai, aišku, mes jau kalbam porą metų apie tą visą bepiločių orlaivių pasaulį. Ten nuolat vyksta varžytinės, kas geriau, kas greičiau, kas stipriau. Ir man atrodo, mums jau reikia pradėti galvoti, kaip ne tik stebėti, bet persikelti jų gamybą į mūsų šalis, kad mes galėtume būti toj tendencijai, neatsilikti nors. Gali būti taip, kad mes tiesiog atsiliksim. Čia nėra kalba apie tai, kad reikia susipirkti sandėlius to, kas galbūt pasens. Ne apie tai kalba. Reikia kurti ekosistemas savo valstybėje, kur yra mokslas, yra pramonė, yra kariuomenės poreikiai. Ir visą tai testuojasi, visą tai juda į priekį. Tai kol kas ukrainiečiai neišleidžia tų įmonių iš savo šalies, nes kai kariauja, normalu, bet dabar lyg tai jau po truputį atsivirinėti pradės. Ir čia yra mums galimybė irgi šokti į visą tai ir turėti savo žodį.
Rimantai, kokie tavo?
Aš pirmą kartą po prasidėjusio karo lankiausi, dabar su jumis. Laurynas labai daug tiesos pasakė, bet mane, sakyčiau, nustebino 3 dalykai. Pirmas tai toks kaip ir liaudies pakantumo lygis nepritekliams ir sunkumams. Pagalvokim, -25, nėra elektros, užšalę vamzdžiai, nėra šildymų. Ir taip ne vieną dieną, o 2 mėnesius, gal pustrečio mėnesio tokiom sąlygom. Jeigu tai atsitiktų Belgijoje, Prancūzijoje ar Ispanijoje, Ispanijoje neužeina tokie šalčiai. Bet jeigu taip atsitiktų, ten, nežinau, ten streikai, ten degtų automobiliai, ten degtų šiukšliadėžės, kitaip sakant, šiuo atveju tauta yra solidarizavusi, mobilizavusi ir pasirengusi iškentėti tuos karo sunkumus, nekeldami kokių nors papildomų bangų valdžiai, nesistengdami paniekinti valdžios arba, reiškia, kaip nors ją keisti. Tai yra labai gerai. Antras dalykas, kuris man atrodo labai reikšmingas, čia jau lyginant net su mumis, kad jie valdžios vyrai, įskaitant ir prezidentą Zelenskį, daugiau daro negu šneka. Jiems turbūt tas viešieji ryšiai šiai dienai, nežinau kuriam tai plane, jiems svarbu padaryti darbą. Ir kai sako, mes elektrinę atstatysim, didžiulę elektrinę šildanti 500 000, reiškia tiekianti šildomą 500 000 gyventojų, mes atstatysim per 6-7 mėnesius. Kas yra iš esmės, beveik neįmanoma, neturint atsarginių dalių, neturint boilerių, katilų, kompresorių, visa kita. Jie tą daro. Jie dirba turbūt 3 pamainom, kad tą padarytų. Na ir paskutinis turbūt toks momentas, kuris mane nustebino, tai puikiai veikianti karinė žvalgyba. Ir ačiū jiem, kad su ta informacija jie dalinasi ir su mumis. Ir kad mes galim matyti ir galim tikėtis, kad mūsų netikėtai neužklups. Nes ta informacija gaunama ne tik tai, sakykime, per mūsų sąjungininkus, per NATO kanalus, bet jin gaunama ir kitų būdų, kur ukrainiečių, matyt, daug gyvena Rusijoje. Kažkaip tai yra prieina jie tuos duomenys. Ir matyt, mato netgi kai kuriuos labai slaptus planus. Visa kita, ką Laurynas pasakė, aš galėčiau dar ten tęsti, bet, manau, kad mūsų vizitas buvo naudingas ta prasme, kad ir informatyvus, ir praplėtėm pažinčių ir kontaktų ratą, ir kartu parodėm ukrainiečiams ir vadovybei, ir žmonėms, viskas tas nuaidės per mediją, kad mes su jais, kad mes kiek reiks ir kiek galėsim, padėsim. Tai čia yra pagrindinė žinutė, kurią nori siųsti.
Ir kad mes veikiam vieningai.
Taip.
Įvairios Lietuvos partijos. Laurynai, paskutinis klausimas. Čia tinklalaidė visą aš tą Ameriką bandau išlukštenti. Vat, žinai, Europą ir Ameriką. Vis klausiam tų klausimų. Vat tavo akimis po šito vizito viltis dar vis, taip sakant, aukštos, galim tikėtis, mums reikia tos Amerikos, vat kokie atsakymai ukrainiečių lūpomis, kaip tu galvoji?
Pirmiausia, turim labai aiškiai suprasti, kad be amerikiečių paramos žvalgybinė informacija ukrainiečiam būtų daug sudėtingiau. O tai vyksta ir tą amerikiečiai yra užtikrina. Ir ne tik užtikrina, bet ir investuoja į radarus įvairius Ukrainos. Man teko su vienu amerikiečiu šiandien prieš porą dienų čia kalbėtis Kyjive. Tai šitam segmente amerikiečiai yra ir planuoja būti. Nes aš įsitikinęs, kad tai ir jiems naudinga. Nes jie mato procesus, jie mato kombinacijas, judesius, schemas, dėsningumus, tai svarbu ir jų planavimai. Tai jiems čia yra ta kovos arena, kur tu tobulėjai pats. Ir todėl aš tikrai esu tikras, kad be šitos informacijos ukrainiečiai bus be galo sudėtinga. Ir kita yra schema sukurta su amerikiečiais paprasta, kad jie oro gynybos segmente, ypač kai kalbama apie įvairias raketas, antibalistinės raketas, kitokių oro gynybos sistemų ginkluotę, jie leidžia pirkti iš savo pramonės. Tai, kitaip tariant, jie patys nebetiekia, bet leidžia pirkti. Ir tada Europa, kuri pinigų turi, jinai perka. Vėlgi, pasirodo, net ir amerikiečių gynybos pramonė nespėja su Ukrainos poreikiais. Nes tą, ką vis tik rusai daro ore, turiu omeny tiek ir balistinės raketas, ir kruizinės raketas, ir visus bepiločius orlaivius, kurie dabar tiesiog kiekvieną naktį daužo Ukrainą. Infrastruktūrą daužo, dabar šildymą išjunginėja, dabar planuoja galbūt užtvankas visas kirs per jas ir taip toliau apsunkinti ukrainiečiam gyvenimą. Tai nespėja pramonė netgi suktis tom sistemom, kurios yra dabar Ukrainoje dislokuotos. Tikėtis, kad Ukraina bus padengta visa oro gynybos sistema, tai yra neįmanoma, tai yra utopija, bet bent jau užtikrinti esminių objektų apsaugą, čia toks turėtų būti keliamas tikslas. Ir tai va čia yra klausimas, vėlgi, net ir ukrainiečiai, mano žiniomis buvo Pentagonas pasikvietęs kai kurias įmonės, kurios gamina tas raketas. Jūs galite daugiau gaminti, nes pirktume iš jų. Bet vis tiek yra vakaruose kažkoks toks, atsiranda naujos gamybinės linijos, bet neatsiranda naujų fabrikų. Ta padidinti gamybą nėra taip paprasta. Tai va, tai čia amerikiečiai, jie dabar yra. Tokia apimti. Ir jinai svarbi ta apimtis. Kai bus po to, vėlgi priklausys nuo visokių procesų. Starlinko pavyzdys, ar ne? Atjungia dabar rusų pusėje. Ir tai yra gerai. Iškart jo efektas matosi fronto linijai. Nes jau buvo įsigūdę ne rusai Starlinką naudoti labai tokiam provokatyviam veiksmam. Ir amerikiečiai suprato, kad reikia kažką daryti. Tai va, tai šitoj vietoj manau, kad vis tiek su amerikiečiais tam tikras bendradarbiavimas yra. Nemanau, kad tai yra kažkaip, savo turiniu jie yra neutralūs. Aš manau, vis tiek jie labiau yra bent jau savo struktūrinę galę Ukrainos pusė. Mažiau nei buvo, bet yra toliau. Klausimas, kaip dėliosis visus procesai, dėrybiniai ir nedėrybiniai. Man atrodo, mes visi suprantam, kad čia imitacija. Bet kas Trumpo akyse liks kaltas, kad nepavyko. Tarkim, ne? Tai mes visi suprantam, kad Rusija, bet jinai darys viską, kad apkaltintų Ukrainą. Turėsim tokią situaciją.
Gerai, ačiū Laurynai.
Aš norėjau paties Žygimantai paklausti, tiesą sakant. Jūsgi tarptautiniuose santykiuose daug patyręs ir išmanantis. Vat šiek tiek apie tą Europos vienybę, kuri šiuo metu irgi buvo, kiek tai toj mūsų grupėje demonstruojama, bet kartu išgirdom, kad ten Vengrija vetuoja, kad ten Slovakija. Kaip jūs pakomentuotumėte tuos dalykus, ko galima tikėtis?
Nu jo, iš tikrųjų, Rimantai, aš kaip diplomatas, aš neatsimenu tokios vieningos Europos. Ir dar tokios Europos, kuri taip nusiteikusi gintis. Aš tiesiog nepamenu, tokio daikto nebuvo. Ir ginasi ne tik nacionalinis lygis, Briuselis pradeda gintis, kas buvo nesuprantama. Bet kas iš tikrųjų nervina, tai va tie priešai mūsų kūne. Vienas iš epizodų, kaip Zelenskis paaiškino, dėl ko čia Orbanas taip pyksta dėl tų visų naftų ir taip toliau, kodėl jisai nepriima energetinių resursų iš vakarų, dėl to, kad tikėtina gali būti korumpuotas. Tai aš taip gal apibendrinsiu, žinai, ačiū už jūsų vienybę, kad jūs kartu buvot, nes ir šito vizito metu mes buvom biški mūsų kremlinių puolami, tai tų, taip sakant, žmonių ir jėgų yra visose radikalių valstybėse, mums reikia dirbti vieningai, kad išgyvent. O su vengrais, nežinau, ypač jeigu Orbanas laimės, o taip gali būti, aš manau, reikia bandyti aiškintis su didžiausiamis šalimis, kad galbūt atėjo laikas tą straipsnį 7 pradėti taikyti, nes kitaip tai bus pasaka be galo. Gerai, ačiū Jums labai, vyrai, ir iki pergalės.
Ačiū.
Gerai, iki. Okay, we are now traveling back from Kiev with United for Ukraine team, and just, what's your main impressions, Adam? It seems you are of Ukrainian descent. That was your first trip to Kiev. What can you say about everything you saw?
I'm the technical guy right now. Should I hold it? No. Oh,
Say, what do you think? Yeah. First trip?
Yeah, first trip. I think the most memorable moment for me was after the first day we arrived, and we had a very long session ending the day at your room, Jegis. So thank you for that. And of course I was very, very tired at the end. A lot of different emotions throughout the day, and I finally lay down in the bed and I said, oh, finally, I'm so tired, I'm going to sleep like a baby. And then I realized that I'm in a country where there is a war, and what's going to be when there will be like an airstrike. We were lucky actually that there wasn't any airstrike during our visit. But what if there will be? Of course, I said nothing gonna happen. I mean, probably I will hear the siren, I will wake up. But what about this feeling to wake up in the middle of the night and yeah, I wasn't even prepared. Later in the morning, Sarah from the Germany showed me the picture how she prepared her stuff, and she was prepared. She was perfectly prepared. She had 2 chairs. On one chair to grab just in the one hand like this, all her clothes to spend hours in the cold in the basement, and the second it was like a bag with all the necessary things, power bank and so on. So yeah, and I even feel ashamed because I was not paying attention to this at all. I just lay down in the bed and then realized I'm in the middle of the country where there is a war. And what's going to happen if
But
if
like a Pole with Ukrainian descent, do you think we might save this country?
Well, the Ukrainians will save their country, and we can only support them in this. I'm pretty sure about it. They have the knowledge, they have the competences, they are ready for this. I mean, of course, what Mr. President said today, there are some stuff we can do, really, but I'm pretty sure that they are in such a stage, especially after 4 years of the war, total war, with the nuclear empire, yeah, and they manage to somehow handle this, not even survive, but also counterattack, yeah, and have a successes in this war. So yeah.
Okay, Adam. Now I turn to Cold War generation. Eric is one of the first chief of Estonian intelligence, and he is in Ukraine like more or less every day. What do you think about the situation, Eric?
The situation is in some regards better than it was, let's say 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and in some regards it's worse. And it's a shame to think that if we would have given Ukraine what we are giving Ukraine now 3 years ago, or 3.5 years ago, this war would be long done. I mean, the Russians were at the breaking point at the end of 2022, and because of the chicken shit in our capitals, we're still arguing if World War III would start when the Ukrainians can shoot 80 kilometers or 150 kilometers, or maybe the World War III line is somewhere between there, etc. We are still not giving them Air Force. We are still not giving them Taurus, and you know all those problems. Now they are at a point where just weapons might not help anymore. I mean, they are still needed. I mean, they are probably at like 50% in some, under-equipped in some units, even 75%. If we would double the weapons, that would probably, double the kill rate. But the human catastrophe is getting to a point where, soon I think the Ukrainians need a break as well, because if it's a numbers game, then the Russians have more numbers. They have they have more people to send to the killing machine, and they have still the war economy working, and we are still not producing more than the Russians. So it's possible at this phase that the Russians break before the Ukrainians. It is possible for some other reasons, but it's not more likely. So unless we really seriously put pressure on the Russians, we need some kind of break in this. So that's my feeling of the situation.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much. Anya Sophie, you are Swedish moderate, great Viking country. Yes. You actually created Ukrainians. So what do you think about your, second, third visit?
I think that the Ukrainians are truly remarkable. Truly remarkable. I mean, we met with Zelensky today, and he was actually trying to make us feel good, that kind of leadership will totally make Ukrainians win over Russia, because they're fighting for so much more than just their territory. They're fighting for their souls, they're fighting for their hearts, they're fighting for their families, and the Russians can't beat that ever.
Thank you, David, Austrian, the one who is fighting for NATO membership of Austria.
Not only, we said.
Yeah. What do you think?
I want to tell you something what to me impressed a lot is the veterans, the people on the front line. It was for me very impressive when you see young soldiers, young people who are standing in the front, get injured and fight still because they have to protect the family, they have to protect what they love, and that is what I think not all of the Europeans have understand that this is the only motivation, only think what they are thinking about, that they go in the front line. It is so impressive. We was in a hospital before the meeting and met some veterans, and it was like seeing these young people without any arms, and he's still fighting. He said he wants to go back and still wants to work in for the drones and in software and everything. It's, for me, it was like heartbreaking to see these young people, but I completely understand, and you see how resilient this country is and what they are fighting for. And I think this picture we have to send in all Europe, that everyone in Europe have to understand that this people is much more than just, it's very impressive, to be honest. It was one of the most impressive thing what we saw in this things, also the speech with the young soldiers. So thank you very much for organizing that.
Thank you, David. Maria, you paid your own visit despite the Czech government that not so much impressed by your visit here, but you know, we love Czechs. You started the revolution. So what do you think?
I was surprised how the Ukrainians are brave, and because in Czech, you know, we have new government, and then the mood among people are changing, and some of them are like exhausting, and they say the war is too long and we don't want to help anymore, we need money for ourselves. But when the Ukrainians are still brave and they want to continue in the war, and they have the energies to do it, so I was just shame for us. And I think we have no right to say stop the war. The only one who can do it are Ukrainians.
Thank you. Another great Austrian who traveled with us. What do you think?
Every time when I'm in Ukraine, I'm deeply, deeply impressed, not just because of the bravery of the whole society. It is this deep feeling that these are our brothers and sisters. They belong to us. They belong to Europe. This is a European country, and everybody should be proud about this brave country and work hard and support the path from Ukraine into European Union to welcome them as soon as possible.
Absolutely. And Latvian, who is kind of half Lithuanian, Juris, what do you think?
I want to tell just three things. First of all, that I cried less than 1 year ago. I was here 1 year ago and I was cried, I think, almost time. This time I cried less. Maybe because that feeling was that Ukrainians are doing well, and they need just our help and they will win. I believe in it. Second thing, yesterday when we had in YES conference, at last plenary session with those warriors, real warriors, not politicians, yes. They told real things, you know, not sorry blah 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 what sometimes we are politicians are talking about. And I had the idea to tell them thank you. Literally they are defending even my house, because my house is just 20 kilometers from border with Russia. There's living my family, you know, my boys, and so and third thing is that I just want to apologize to all Ukrainians, because we as Europeans, we are not enough actively to help them to finish that war soon as it possible.
Absolutely. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава!
Okay, Ferenc. It's Ferenc? It's Ferenc. Ferenc. I'm learning a lot of languages, so it's always, the endings are the difficult part. So we are now in Kiev, in YES conference. Is it the second or third time we're traveling together? A third. Third. So absolutely thank you for this. And to be honest, you know, Lithuanians are very worried about Hungarians, and like, it's like a heart bleeding, because most of us, we started our revolt with your universities. You educated us. We went to you as a beacon of freedom and democracy. We learned how to do it, and now we see Hungary like, I don't know, serving Kremlin, serving China, destroying all the plans we have for Ukrainians, sanctions, EU accession. Do we have a chance to win? Because some people are skeptical, as they say, "Oh my God, don't you know Belarus? How many elections we had there? Orban will just steal it. He will use administrative resources, and that could be the end of the story." Don't you feel like that?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me again here in this delegation. It's an honor to be. And by coming here, I can always tell people and show people that Hungary and Hungarians aren't equal to the government we have at home. To answer your question directly, I don't think we ever had such a good chance for regime change in Hungary. One of the reasons for this is people are getting really fed up. In the last elections, we were running together 6 parties together, and that was rather chaotic. And what we haven't tried so far is not running at all and letting the biggest party to try to win. And this is what we're doing now. Momentum, my party, which I was the chair of for 2 years, withdrew from the race spring last year. And with that, we created a trend. So far, in the past 1 year, 7 parties declared that they're not running in the elections in order for having better chances in the elections. Because, as you know, the Hungarian electoral system is so rigged that if there is more than 2 parties running against each other, chances are that Fidesz is going to turn out as a winner. If you can remember, in 2014, Fidesz received a super majority, a 2/3 majority, with only 43% of the vote. So this is new. We haven't tried this before, and we do have high hopes for a change now. Not to mention that the polls are quite good. The opposition is polling 8% ahead of the regime. Which is needed because, as I told you earlier, as I just mentioned, the electoral system is rigged, so the opposition needs to win with at least 5% in order to be able to actually win. So this is now, we still have 49 days till the elections, so the campaign is on. It's getting rougher and rougher. But I'm happy to tell you and to all your listeners that even though we are not running, we're doing everything we can in order to help make a change.
But Ferenc, honestly, like when you said it last time to me, I was so shocked. Like you are sacrificing yourself, your own political being, to win against our dictatorship. Like other parties are doing it. This is really the final sacrifice. This is kind of wonderful because like political animals, so you gain nothing, like, but you fight for your country. It's like, I don't know, it's like Ukrainians on the front lines.
I wouldn't compare us to the brave Ukrainian soldiers on the front line, but you are right in a sense that we are sacrificing ourselves career-wise, probably. But first of all, I'm a Hungarian, and second of all, or third or fourth, whatever, I'm a member of a party and a member of the parliament. At this very day, there is 15 different criminal proceedings against me for demonstrating this regime. Because, as you probably know, since spring last year, the Hungarian government prohibited the right to assemble. So it's illegal at the moment to assemble in Hungary. And me and my fellow colleagues, we were demonstrating against this new law that was introduced. And at the moment, there are 15 different criminal hearings against me. Against one of my friends is 23. And let's be frank, we don't want to go to prison for something that is, I mean, in a normal democracy, you would never go to prison for this. I mean, that's just an expression of thought, so to speak. So, yes, we in a way are breaking our career to help Hungary turn back and return to what we believe its place is, and that's Europe, and that's the West, and that's NATO, and that's EU.
Last question. Today, you kind of positively shocked me, saying, for 1,000 years, Hungary wanted
to be and was part of the West. And now when I saw this publicity of Orban, ugly anti-European publicity, how each Hungarian feels. Does he really get the support of Hungarians? Are they not part of the West? How could you create this anti-Western phenomenon in your own deeply historical, from your knights, from your kings, we learn how to defend the faith and values, in our old kingdom. But
the sad reality is that every sixth Hungarian newborn baby are born outside of Hungary today, because many Hungarians already left the country. Many Hungarians gave up hope on Hungary, but we have a very good relationship with the Hungarian diaspora living in other EU member states, and our survey says that should there be a change of government, chances are that many people are going to come back to Hungary, return to Hungary, to a place which is more European. But as you probably know, the Hungarian government in the past 15 years used an enormous amount of money on propaganda, 3,000 billion forints, that's roughly equals to 8 billion euros.
My God.
So only in propaganda, and this is German, France, Swedish, Lithuanian, and so on, taxpayers' money. So they're using EU money, using EU taxpayers' money to scorch up feelings against the European Union, which is, I do think it's crazy, and it's crazy that the European Union lets it. The European Union lets Orban does that. I mean, once you join a club, you should respect the rules and laws of the club, of the given club, and that goes for EU and goes for NATO as well, because we are a member of both EU and NATO. And just recently, Orban had said that that was very controversial. That should you want freedom, you should turn east. And why is really outrageous, because he had his famous speech 25 years ago in which he proclaimed that oil may come from the east, but freedom always comes from west.
Okay, thank you, Ferenc, for your fight, for your spirit, for actually defending the honor of Hungarians and Hungarian name, because those Hungarians like you, I'm proud to be a friend of.
Well, thank you. I'm always trying to underline is, as I started this very conversation, is Hungarians aren't equal to the government of Hungary.
Yeah, thank you.